Welcome back to Tube Barn. Today we're going to be doing some relay boards. But first, we all know what time it is. It is time to drink some beer and solder some shit. A little bit of a mood today. That's okay. That's just the world. There's a lesson to be learned. If you're watching this video, there's a fuck ton of people with lives shittier than yours. So think about that and try to reflect on that. That's my message for the day. I don't know. Fuck it. So anyways, we're doing relays today. This is simple. I swear to God, I had a single pole relay. I could have swore I put it in there to make sure it fits, and for the sake, I can't find a goddamn thing. That's been this kind of month. But anyways, I got a bunch of these. These are double pole, double throw, which means it's got two poles. It's got two things. You can switch two things at one time. And it goes double, meaning it's going to connect to here and then switch to there. This right here is where you connect it. Like I said, double, these top ones. It's always connected here. It's what they call normally open, normally closed. That's for a single throw where it's on, off, but this is a double throw. So this one, for this relay, they got different configurations, but for this thing, this is very common. You'll see these in Mojo Tone and I think Tube Depot, and fairly common. It's a 5 volt. Because it's easier at 5 volt to get your system to do it without adding extra stuff or getting crazier transformers. So anyways, you're going to connect your in here, well, out, depending on what you're talking about. Are you sending or are you receiving? So anyways, your constant is here. Where it goes or where it's coming from is here. It's standard here, and then it's going to switch to there once you activate it. You have your diode. This is your safety diode. It's in parallel with the coil of the relay. Some sort of safety feature. I'm not going to get into that. I never ask. I don't care. We have your LED resistor. Honestly, I don't remember how I came up with 470. It has to do with Ohm's law and dropping voltage and whatnot. And I think I was a compromise because I could use either red or green, and they have a little different one, but 470 was kind of the compromise between it. I can change them not. It'll be fine. It's a single LED, and it seems to be working good. Okay, of course you have your volt in, and your foot switch, basically you connect that to ground, depending on what sort of supply you have. If you're doing a negative voltage supply like the one I showed from Mojo Tone, you're going to connect that to whatever switch goes to the negative power. But for this, because I'm using standard positive DC, that will go to the foot switch, will in turn ground it. So once it grounds, it completes the circuit and it turns on. And that's what we have. This is 5 volt relay. Pretty standard. You can get that many places. So let's go ahead and solder this guy. Now, it's easier. I'll just flip it over, cut on my glasses, and drink some beer. Okay, let's tin this baby up again. Nice and hot. Remember, never hit the soldering iron unless you have to. Give it time to cool. Don't breathe on it. What I'm soldering are the pins. They're the post of the relay. These outside ones are where we're going to connect the wires. This is basically connecting the relay to the board. Now you can use diodes, which I think I'll drop one again. Constantly moving stuff, so I keep losing these things. Well, there it is. I have 3 right here waiting. Now you can use the same ones that you use for your rectifier. Necessary? No, but if you're ordering stuff, I mean, it's overkill, but if you're ordering a bunch of stuff and you can order a bunch of the same stuff, you might as well. That looks almost good. I have a whole bunch of diodes. I could probably use a smaller one, but I have to go and figure out what they are, because I decided to name them based on their actual names, which doesn't tell me anything, so I have to go and figure it out. You can leave these a little long. You probably should, because when you put them in the little holes, you kind of want to, they don't want to go in, so you just kind of, how am I doing this? Pull the pins out. So just kind of pull the pins out. That way they'll stay in. Don't have to be super snug. Make sure I got it in the right way. The line faces the positive side. This positive side, negative. So you don't want to run it the other way, or you're just creating a short. Kind of wobbly. It's very hard for me to see the monitor with these glasses on. Then when you're done, you can clip off the ends. Oop, I forgot this one. This is the power to the relay. As you can see, these are connected to them. Now remember, when we get to the LED, we're not going to do that right now, because the way my LEDs are, they have to go into the front of the pan through the faceplate and then connect, because if I connect it, I won't be able to get it. So that's going to have to be later. So I need to install it in a way that I can either solder to it or pull the board out later easily, solder it, and put it back in. That will be the plan. Now let's get the 470, which I have a ton of these. Like I said, this is not a whole lot of power, so you can use little tiny ones. We got tiny ones are good. I have this one here. That'll work. Boom, boom, boom. Just a little over the size of it. Remember, bend them up, cut them. Really need to find my cutters. In the old days we called dikes, and then people got offended. Whatever. But they're still dikes, whatever. Just stick them in the hole. And resistors are not polarized, so it doesn't matter what end you're putting them in. Bugs out here. gets a little hard because I'm off balance. I think it did solder, but I'm just going to add a little bit more in case it didn't. Should be good. Now when I made these boards, I kind of made a mistake. I didn't put the plates on both sides because it'd be a lot easier. Well, except for this, because you can't. The soldering from the top, but with this, I can't. So that's just life. It's not that much work. Okay, now we got to think. Which one is this? Doesn't really matter. But I need to know what sort of length of wire. So because I don't know where exactly it's going, what it's connecting to, we're going to be a little excessive on the wire length. It does create waste, but that is what it is. And of course we have to put the supply in there. So I'm just going to put the supply in there at way too big. And I checked this the other day, and I went right in the hole real easy. And today it's like, no, I don't want to. And I'm trying to stick this into the voltage hole, and it was going in perfect the other day, but now it doesn't want to. So I need to cut these little frays off. We got that. Now you gotta weigh your crap down. This one definitely wants to be soldered heavy because it's got a big old wire on it. Let's get it good. Okay, so that is connected. Now we need to, I might connect the foot switch when I connect the LED, just because it's in the same spot. And I don't know where that's going to be, because I don't know which one this is. I should probably designate, say this one's going to be what. Now, for two of these, I'm only using half. As I stated, one of them I'm using both sides, the other one I'm only using a half because that's all I need it for. So some single poles would have been nice, but when I purchased all this stuff, I didn't realize how I was going to do it. I thought I was going to do it differently. That was before I decided to go post phase inverter. And I wasn't thinking about the cathode caps. So this could be either one. Let's just call this, see how long is this? Pretty long. That'll be good. Let's make this the cathode cap switcher. Went from winter to summer real quick. Jesus, hot as balls out here. Humid. Okay, so we got this. Now, we're going to put in where it's coming from. So this, we're only going to use one side, which is fine. The holes are here. The way I want to mount it is I want to mount it. Let me give this example, this one. Up like this. The board's going this way. Tubes are here. Pots are up here. And I think mount it like this so we can easily just jump over there and get to the cathode caps. So we're going to connect this side. We're going to get the blue wire. I hope I don't run out. You know, these are cathode caps, and this wire's not bad. I've used it, and it's solid wire. So I'm going to use this one. gonna make it not that long, really. That should be long, that should be way more than I need. Probably don't need that tall. So let's get in there. Whoops, no, I'm grabbing the wrong one. Trying to bend it in place so it'll stay. Okay. Apparently I should have done this white wire last because it's being a pain in the butt. Okay. So let's get that baby in there. These things heat up pretty quick. Okay. Looks good. Let's get another one. Needs to be that incredibly long, but might as well. Oops, what am I doing? Wrong way, wrong direction. So we're going to get two of them in there. Okay. Oop, did I lose it? I lost it. Okay, see if I can hold that down. There we go. Always find something, whatever you need, get this stuff done. Solder. That one's good. Give it a second. Want to touch both of them. Almost put my soldering iron in the beer. Let's look at it. What do we have here? So we have everything connected except for the LED and the foot switch. So what we're going to have is this one, first one, is going to connect to the cathode, where the cathode and the million ohm resistors are going to connect to. Let me think about it. Is that right? That is correct. Yes, because it jumps. This is going to jump over them. That'd be fine. This jumps over the resistors directly to the eyelet that's going to go to the cathode on that first stage. These are going to go to the two cathode caps, and there'll be a resistor on each on the board that goes from each one of these to this point. I discussed the whole thing about popping. Now what I need to figure out, and this is a choice you need to make, what is your primary tone? Do I want to use the big fat cap? Do I want to use the lower value cap? The lower value cap is going to have higher tone, I should say higher pitch, and the big fat cap is going to have a lot more bottom end. So you figure out what do you want as your standard, because there's no sense in having your relays on all the time if you don't need to. I think I'm going to hook it so the big fat cap is standard. You got that rhythm, the big bottom heavy rhythm, and then make this kind of more like a lead situation, or I don't know, tinny. We'll see what it does. So that's pretty much that. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Found them. They're in the wrong drawer. It's that red thing. So I went over and I did another one. Just take them once you're done and just clip them off. Close you can. Not pissing it off. That was on the side. Okay, so I did another one. I got all the basics. I got this in. I got the resistor. I got the diode in. This is another one that's just going to be using one pole. So I'm going to be using this one for that. I'm not going to use this. I'm not sure quality of wire. I really should look into that. I mean, wire is wire is wire is wire unless it's complete garbage. But I'm going to use this stranded just because. Well, actually, I'm gonna cut the end off and see how well it goes in the hole. If it doesn't want to go in the hole, I'm not using it. Doesn't want to go in the hole. You know, screw this wire. If we're going to use a strand, we're going to use a solid wire. Should be fine. I used it in that amp. Tone seemed fine. I didn't have any issues with that. So we know that it's going to be fairly close, so we can get the same kind of. I'm going to make it a little long, a little excess. Better. Have more than what you need. Because these aren't exactly highest quality in the world. They're not bad. But even when you have good ones, like we repaired a Fender Hot Rod DeVille. And we were, well, I didn't know shit. He didn't know shit. But we did a cap job on it. And we were stupid and we jacked up the board. They don't like to be desoldered. Really, really do not like to be desoldered. And these ones are no difference. They're different. So, if you do unsolder a board, say if you have capacitors in it, electrolytics, the best thing would be, let's get a big one. Big one so you can see it. Say you have a capacitor. Take my glasses off. It's bad and you want to replace it. And it's in your circuit board. The best thing to do would be cut it here. Same thing other side. Leave these connected. Then bring in the new one and connect it to those leads. Because circuit boards do not like to be desoldered. And if you have to do it, be careful. Remember, it's basically like a thin piece of film. Most of these things are not made with great quality. But if you wanted to make a circuit board and make it quality, I would suggest getting yourself one that's just a thick thing of almost pure freaking silver. Because silver is a way better conductor than copper. But it's not as pliable, a little harder. So that's why they don't use it. But if you're able to get like a nice thick piece of silver, get the thing out and have them just like maybe router it out. Oh God, that'd be great. I mean, that'd be nice. Also be goddamn expensive. But if you're going to build a dream app and you want to use a circuit board, because in some ways circuit boards, you can get a lot more done in a smaller amount of space. You're not dealing with a lot of oscillation because your runs are so small. But at the same time, it's a shitty PCB because, like I said, they're made like garbage. But if you could do that and you want to spend some dumb money, and they have a lot of cool little programs out there that'll help you do it. Yep. Looks all shiny, looks happy. Give it a second. Okay, so we know where the foot switch is with this, but I have a slight dilemma because I wanted to use that double board, but I decided not to because of location. I didn't want to have it in one location. I did that with that amp, and I had one of these, and like I said, I ripped it out and I went for individual boards, and it helped a lot. So I want them a little separate so they're closer, especially with the post phase inverter. That's going to have some, it's going to have some good current in there. I don't want it running through everything because it's going to wreak havoc. I'm still worried how I'm going to wire it because of the possibility of signal cross. So I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, how I was going to connect the foot switches. Now I could, one, run both the foot switch wires. They'll probably be about this far apart. I could just run them all the way to it as 2 wires, or I could jump one to there. I still have to do the same thing with the power, so I don't know. Connecting multiple wires to this isn't how they're designed. I don't like just taking a wire and, soldering it right there. It works, but I don't like it. It's less secure. So I'm thinking, DC has a problem with distance. The longer it goes, if you've ever done low voltage wiring in your house for your yard lights, you'll notice the farther they get away, the dimmer they get, which is why I use huge gauge wire, because DC sucks. It's also why we don't use DC for our power lines. When they originally did power, it was DC. They had massive cables, and very quickly they need to have these, for a less of a better word, like these jumping boxes to jump it back up. But AC can go a very long distance, which is why we use AC for house power. It's because of distance. So I worry about that, but not so much. But the jack goes to a cable. How far is that? I'm hoping that's not going to be a big issue because you're not using voltage at that end. You're just going to ground it. So it'll be fine grounded. We'll see. We shall see. So we're going to, I think I'm just going to, because you figure 6, 7, 8 feet of cable is nothing with when you're talking about a foot here. So we'll just do it like that. I'll put that in later because you've already seen me do that. So I'll be right back. I'm going to solder this baby in. Same thing, different company, just black. All right, so we're back. I got the 3 wired up. This one you can see, I have both sides being used. You got a little ugly, had to chop him off. This actually stranded wire started to actually come through. So it's there. We're ready to put them in the amp. I got to get some brackets. So when we come back, I'll either be working on the amp side or the preamp side, depending on if my parts come in or not. That's a funny story. So see ya.